But yes, now we're gonna switch over into playing the brand new game that just came out a few days ago called Vampire the Masquerade Reckoning of New York. It is the third game in the New York series, Coteries of New York and Shadows of New York. We played the demo not when it came out, and now we're gonna play the full game, and I'm super duper excited. And it's probably going to be no different than the demo that we played, but we're going to get through as much as we can in the hour that I have until until I'm off. So let's do this. If you already watched the demo, then you already know, but this is Callie the Ravnos. Her sire has gone AWOL, but she's just trying to make it out here in the Big Apple on the hard streets of New York. I don't remember us getting to pick points in this before. That's interesting. I think I'll do obfuscate and presence. I love animalism, but I'd rather do obfuscate and presence, I think, probably because I want to do chemistry as much as possible. Yes, we want hunger. We want hunter threat. Yeah, we want all of that. All that good stuff. Yeah, night one, the beginning. Looking forward to completing the trilogy. These New York games have been great. Yeah, they are great. You'll have to let me know audio-wise what I need to adjust. If it's too loud or too quiet. Ooh, that's gorgeous. I love this. Amazing. I'm already super into it. Huh, it is not that's odd. It is not showing it to you. For some reason you can't see what's happening. Yeah, let me see if I can fix that. Let me see if I can fix that. Ka-chow. There we go. How's that? Better? I just picked obfuscate and presence. Was all I picked. I saved it. I saved you. I did it. Is it working? Can you see it now? So silly. All right. OBS is a demon child. Oh, God. D'Angelo's bureau, if you can even call it that, feels more like a rough draft of an asteroid belt. Suggesting it's shabby almost gives it too much credit, as if there's some hidden allure to the mess, which there definitely isn't. This means I'm going to have to go through seeing Kadir again, but I think I can handle it better this time because I know it's coming. His head is cocked thoughtfully, beady eyes piercing me right through. Does this acute interest stem from the matter I brought in, or does he simply enjoy watching me wriggling in this wretched chair? I'd ask, but underneath the repulsive mask of his face, I notice something that looks a lot like fear, a detail I pocket for later. A strong synthetic odor taints the still air. The world is moving forward, but this crap reeks worse than your average smoke. And the way he squashes those mini cigs in the ashtray, it's clear D'Angelo's struggling to shake off old habits. Not that I'm one to throw stones, but he's quite the character. Useful, but infuriating too at times. I think I can turn this up a little bit more, since I can't really hear it in my headset. Like right now, for example. Let me just get this straight. You lost your sire, eh? I love D'Angelo. He's amazing. Hell no vice. Amazing. Oh, come on. I don't remember what I picked last time. I didn't lose him, you goof. He just never turned up to our meeting. Easy, Tyga. Just trying to get the situation clear here. What's unclear about it? I went to our meeting spot and he wasn't there. That never happens. Renaud Castle has a knack for vanishing, though. Maybe he had to make himself scarce, skip town. He'd have left me a clue for sure. You still relying on those wall tags? The hobo code or whatnot? Little Chandler here has totally been killing it lately. I mean, I might have casually mentioned the code once or twice, but nothing major. Well, all right, maybe I showed him a symbol, one that's pretty much useless on its own. If Reynard catches wind of me spilling the beans, he's gonna flip. He's like Fort Knox when it comes to our secrets. We do, and I found absolutely zilch, which doesn't happen, by the way. We never bail on each other when we split up for stuff like this. It's just too dangerous. Maybe he didn't have a chance to leave a trail. What were you two supposed to rendezvous? Where were you two supposed to rendezvous? Do you... Okay, I'm so sorry. Do you hear the game audio? I could turn it up even more for you. I'd be happy to do it. for you like that. Ka-chow. That's better. Why is he snooping around so much? Feels like I'm on trial here. You literally asked me to conduct this investigation. What do you expect me to do? Pull an answer out of my ass? I really don't want to know what he could pull out of his ass, and I intend to tell him as much, but he speaks first. Besides, I already know your spot. Coney Island, right? I feel my eyelid twitch. You're bluffing. I was, but your reaction spilled the whole story. Maybe dropping by D'Angelo's wasn't such a great plan. Or maybe he's not as useless as I assumed. But he's definitely got me on edge. I shoot him a skeptical glance, but he appears to be elsewhere, lost in his own thoughts. His lips move silently, almost like he's whispering a prayer. Prick your ears. I strain my ears and finally catch a few words. When a damsel in distress entered his dimly lit office, lost in the urban jungle and with nowhere to go, she turned to the only person she could trust, Detective Extraordinaire Gianni D'Angelo. But neither of them foresaw the storm brewing, ready to shake their world to its core. I'll skip over your noir wet dreams, but what's the deal with the storm? Don't you worry about it. The way he says it really makes me worry about it, but I brush it off. So you made your way to Coney Island, but came up empty-handed. No castle, no trail to follow. Anything noteworthy at all? Just your typical shady assholes loitering around, clearly up to something. Pretty standard for New York City, as far as I'm aware. Shady assholes? Who, kindred? Regular folks, I think, all twitchy and restless. He furrows his brow, nodding slowly, but seems more in mourning than deep in thought. When he finally speaks, it's not at all what I was expecting to hear. To be frank, Callie, I'm running short on answers. Yesiah seems just temporarily unavailable, or gone for good, or something else. Can't say I'm entirely shocked. He tries to stroll around nonchalantly, but the mess in his bureau sorry, I'm used to the German word, bureau, just as nonchalantly throws him off balance. It completely ruins his noir vibe, so I shoot him a cheeky grin, but he's too caught up to even notice. Breaking character must have rattled him good. If I were you, I'd take a leaf out of his book and disappear. Pronto. In fact, that's exactly what I intend to do once I'm through with my business in the city. I unpocket the fear I observed a moment ago and give D'Angelo another good, lasting look. He's genuinely terrified, like seriously scared, but there's this hint of desperation too. I've got to tame my inner con artist. She's practically salivating in my head, just waiting to join in. But when things go south, D'Angelo's the buddy you stick with, not somebody you ditch and forget. Gianni, seriously, what's up? I'm kind of freaking out here. There are too many loose ends to stitch together a complete tale, and frankly, it's too lengthy for just one night anyway. But there's a storm gathering in the city. I've been through some rough patches, but this feels like a whole different kind of trouble. Cut the cryptic shit, just for once. He looks over my shoulder, lost in thought, like he's figuring out how to drop an anchor on someone who's already drowning. Our kind has been dropping like flies lately. Nobody seems to be a specific target, but it's hitting mostly Duskborn. The court dubs it the culling of thin bloods. Real knee slapper they've got, those sons of guns. But there's been other victims too. A chill runs down my dead spine. Here's the sad reality. New York City has never been as dangerous for kindred as it is these nights. Turn it up a little bit. Yee. Absolutely. I got you all the way up there. And if that's still not good enough, I can adjust it in the settings as well. But right now, there's really not a lot of, like, music happening. It's just sort of weird background noise. Perpetrator? Any clue who might be behind it? I've got a couple of theories. You know what? I'll fill you in while we hit the road. The urge to flee slams into me like a freight train. There's something about his tone that almost convinces me to hightail it out of the city, but it's not quite time to make a break for it. I might stick around for a while, so... D'Angelo's visibly concerned. Should I be worried too? You're really not going to let him go, huh? Of course not. I'll find Reynard come hell or high water. Besides, someone has to handle detective duty since, judging by how desperately you want me to drive you out of town, damsel in distress is already taken. D'Angelo tilts his head downward just enough to fix his crooked smile, a smile abandoned by joy long ago. I know you well enough to not even bother trying to change your mind, but if you have a knack for diving headfirst into trouble, so hear me out. Keep your head down. Stay off the radar. Don't feed willy-nilly. And above all, don't reveal your true nature unless you're 100% sure nobody can see you. So the masquerade, basically. I'm not joking, Callie. Keep low, or else. Yeah. Thanks for the tip. I rise to my feet and wave goodbye as I head out the door. I'll grab you once I've found Reynard. On my own, since you've been such a big help. This should be a little bit louder, so you can let me know if you can hear it better. I love a kindred with a gimmick. I love you, Vin. You're amazing. Oh, goodness. My throat is really dry today because it's like the last death throes of summer here in Germany, and just the allergy season is trying to get its last hurrah out. It takes me a while to actually notice the air around me, crisp and clear without the ever-present stench of D'Angelo's nicotine habit. I find it's taking me longer each time to catch on. When will I reach the point where I don't notice it anymore? Reynard's silence and the total lack of hints about his whereabouts bug me way more than I'm ready to say out loud. The streets are deserted. It's like everyone vanished, scared off by the winter chill that mortals seem to hate. The darkness of the night, lit up by bursts of color, is kind of beautiful in a bleak urban way. But my sire is gone, and I don't know what to do. Back at D'Angelo's, I was all talk, swearing that I'd track down Reynard myself or burn up trying. Pretty sure he saw right through my BS. Were I half as confident as I pretended, I wouldn't feel so utterly lost. In late December, in the big, fucking dangerous apple of all places. If D'Angelo's warnings have any weight, maybe it's time to bulk up our supplies. Our coterie, let's just say we're big on being ready for anything. Reynard's the mastermind behind all our safety nets, making sure we don't even brush close to failure. His obsessive preparedness has pulled us out of the fire more than once. Wherever we're running our gigs, we've got these spots, stocked up with goods, and let's call it personal protection. One of those hidden caches lies just around the block, if I remember right. It's been ages, but that's probably the first place I should hit up before I go hunting for Reynard. Better safe than in a grave, right? I mean, sure. All right. Wah! We're going to run around. All right. So we got Square One, Coney Island. We got Square One, the RV. And we got Precautionary Measures, Detour. Survival is the game we play, or so Reynard always preached to our gang. That's why we've stashed supply caches all over. If D'Angelo's warnings hold water, grabbing some supplies could actually come in handy. So let's do that first. Ka-chow. Great. Just fucking great. Oopsies. Looking over the wreckage of what used to be my secret stash, I can't stop the flood of swears. Whoever the hell found it, they cleared it out completely. They didn't even have the courtesy to leave a "my bad" for the raid note. My bad. It wasn't a treasure trove or anything, just an old combat knife, a bulletless revolver, and some jewelry I was planning to pawn off for far less than what they were worth. I get why they'd take our stuff, but seriously, what's anyone gonna do with a cooler full of expired blood bags? I mean, lots of vampires can do a lot of stuff with that. If you got the Iron Gullet perk, you couldn't eat it. Could this have been the work of one of our kind? After what D'Angelo said, it doesn't seem too far-fetched. Fuck. Whoever they are, they better hope I don't find them first. Woo! Stepping back onto the streets, the harsh reality hits me. My gear is history, and no amount of complaining is going to magically bring it back. Believe me, I tried. But then again, maybe I'm just being paranoid. D'Angelo has a thing for urban legends and slapping conspiracy theories onto pretty much anything. Why should this time be any different? It's Christmas, after all. Merry Christmas! Around these parts, looting is practically a holiday tradition. As I'm coming to terms with my situation and thinking about what to do next, I get that weird feeling. It's like my inner alarm system is giving me a nudge, telling me something is off. A quick look behind me confirms it. Yep, I've got followers. Not just one, but two. Finally, I'm hitting my social media milestones. My gut tells me to move faster, and I find myself darting into a barely lit alleyway, disappearing into the shadows. I press myself against the cold bricks and wait. That's when I catch it, a high-pitched voice filled with endless babble. Her words cut through the air, harsh and acidic. She's talking about me, and it's far from flattering. Squeaker. It was her. The freak draped in all that drab gray. I effing told ya. Drab gray? What the hell does she think she is? I need to get a look at them. Girl, we come back empty-handed for the 3rd time and we're fucking cooked. Oh, fuck her and her cheap-ass forest ranger getup. The nerve to diss my look. Little Retoriador. Why are they even after me anyway? The one making all the noise is fidgeting nonstop, like a squirrel high on candy. That's an image. Muttering something I can't make out. It's clear planning impromptu actions isn't her strong suit. The other one seems timid, obviously wishing she was anywhere but here. I'd find the whole scene hilarious under different circumstances, but I've got bigger fish to fry than this low-budget permanent midnight remake. Ooh. I want to scare him. I want to do it. Want to do it. Scare the shit out of him. God. I like literally do everything that D'Angelo told me not to do. Boom. Screw it. Time to see what they're really made of. Even the game is like, I don't have time for this. I have bigger fish to fry. And I'm like, no, I can make time. I always have time for this. I stride toward them deliberately nosy. The quiet one faints immediately while the loud one's eyes go wide the moment she spots me. You were hunting for a freak? Well, congrats. You found one. Ah, shit. She recoils, fumbling for something under her jacket, panicking because it's taking too long. I channel every bit of the malice I've honed during my dark web days and unleash it full force on her. Oh, you think you can handle me? That's adorable. In a single fluid move, I'm up in her grill. Come on, bitch. I'll tear your asshole to so many pieces they'll never put your story back together. Get away from me! Finally, she loses her shit and makes a run for it, tripping over her own feet on the way. I lose sight of her and her panicked noises fade. It's almost riveting, if not for the reason she was here in the first place. In the end, I leave them both be. They weren't exactly a threat, but damn. It turns out D'Angelo wasn't just blowing smoke up my ass. But none of that alters my goal. Finding Reynard remains a top priority. I could go back to Coney Island and see if he turned up while I was gone. The possibility of berating him for thoughtlessness cracks me up, if only a little. And yeah, I've got to move the RV before it draws too much attention, but some busybody develops an unwanted interest in it. But there's no point in driving it to Coney Island when I can take the subway. So what to do first? Ka-cha. I want to go to the Coney Island. Okay, well, I know if I go to Coney Island, I know that that leads right to the Camarilla thing. So let's do the RV first. If anything happens to our stash, Reynard's going to skin me when he shows up. I happen to like my skin. Had it for as long as I can remember. Yeah, I went to Coney in the demo. Thank you. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Oh, God. Plus, it's not like he's facing his final death or anything. I think. New York really lives up to its rep as the city that never sleeps. People keep walking past, oblivious to the intensity of my gaze. The blood slowly coursing through their veins just beneath the surface of their skin tempts me in ways I cannot describe. I force myself to look away, not for the dregs of my own mortality, nor because I feel any grand respect for them. It's simpler than that. Too many eyes, too much risk, my crew's unspoken credo. Credo? As I approach the ruined parking lot where I've stashed my RV, I freeze. Shit. There's already a crowd milling around. 2, no 3 of them. Maybe mortal, but kindred or ghosts are much more likely. Because what random thieves suddenly got their hands itchy for an RV as old as mine? No, they must be Camarilla types, given where we are. Whoopsies. I keep double-clicking the continue button. I don't know why. I can feel my vitae starting to boil, but I play it cool. What's their interest in my RV? How'd they even find it? And more importantly, how do I get them to leave? I want to use the chemistry. That's why I took the obfuscating the presence, because that'd be cute. If I was a razzmatazz gal. I'll give him something to chase. I gesture subtly towards the far end of the lot and conjure up the loud, discordant sound of a garbage bin falling over, coupled with muffled curses and retreating steps. With luck, the prowlers will take the bait. They do. Yay! They carelessly drop whatever they were holding and one by one cock their heads and prowl toward the source of the sound, moving away from my spot. My spot. This is my moment. This is my moment. Lights! I sneak over to my van only to see it's been completely ransacked. They've wrecked it, digging through hidden compartments, flipping through confidential documents that won't reveal anything to them, spilling my meticulously stored blood, and tossing my sparse furnishings onto the pavement. That is so incredibly rude. My home violated, ruined, done. That's so bad. Razzmatazz, yeah. I just want to jazz hand, dazzle. I just want to dazzle them. Is that so wrong? Barely containing the wrath simmering just under my cold, undead skin, I force myself to calm down. I'll sneak into the driver's seat before my illusion fades away. Speeding off right under their noses is bold, maybe even a bit stupid, but well, so am I. I follow my gut like I always do. It rarely fails me, but when it does, oh boy. I mean, I am Ravnos, right? The first idea that pops into my head is typically the winner. I want her confidence so bad. Spirit fingers. Yeah, jazz hands and spirit fingers. That's what I want. Were I to play a Ravnos, which I never have, not as a player anyway, that's exactly the type I'd want to play. Just as I'm about to make my move toward the RV, I spot her. Actually, scratch that. It's my skin that reacts first, every hair standing on end as if electrocuted. An alarm blares in my head, screaming danger. Only then do I see her stepping smoothly out of the shadows, gait relaxed and yet somehow predatory. Oh, okay, so it didn't really matter if we went to the Coney Island or went to the RV. We're going to run into... What is her name? Isn't her name Adelaide? Something like that, right? We're going to run to the Scourge either way. Leaving so soon, sugar? I have no idea who she is, and I'm normally spot on at identifying those who'd prefer me finally dead. It's handy in my line of business. No, it's not Adelaide. Is it Adelaide? No, it's because of the V, isn't it? I had this problem last time where I couldn't remember her name because I don't like her. So I'm going to continuously forget her name. Yep, duty calls. And by duty, I mean you can fuck right off. She doesn't even blink at my quip and just keeps inching closer. I feel an urge to step back, but a quick side-eye informs me that the prowlers have returned and are standing right behind me. I'm afraid you're going to have to come with me. Yeah, that's her name. that's it, Finn. Vadadadelaide. I can't remember her name. It's so bad. Was it... What, is this your princess parking spot or something? Because, you know, this hardly looks like your domain. You're dressed a bit too fancy for these parts, lady. Her smile stretches wider, but it's devoid of any real humor or warmth. She's only steps away now, and I'm effectively trapped. Parking's hardly the concern, and I'd hope you're not naive enough to think so. No, it's your extracurricular activities that have raised a few eyebrows. Somebody has been very naughty indeed. I do remember this also. The white... Okay, so it's not as bad when the background is brown, the white lettering, but the white lettering on the gray graded background really messes me up. It makes my eyes wiggle in a way that's not fun. Extracurricular activities? You've lost me there. Oh, how she jests. I'm not going to run down the entire list of the council's accusations, but incidentally... Valerie. I just remembered it's Valerie. I got it. But incidentally, that is where I'm taking you right now. Who the hell are you even? Yeah, see, I remembered it right before she said it. I'm the best. Obviously, that's why I'm here. I am Valerie Duval, sugar, the Scourge of New York. You can either accompany me without a fuss, or, well, let's just leave it at that first option. It's decidedly in your best interest. She gestures to one of the prowlers behind me, her henchman, I guess, who brandishes a hefty, sharpened stake. My throat tightens involuntarily. What the fuck does the council want with me? Our crew's business isn't all that against their precious traditions, is it? I am not without reason, darling. Your move? Thanks for the fake choice, babe. Oh, it's my move, ain't it? Because from my viewpoint, all roads seem to end at the tip of that stake. Said tip jabs painfully against my back, right where my heart would be beating madly if it wasn't all shriveled up. Case in point. The council will undoubtedly release you, following a meticulous inquiry, of course. This is your final chance. All right, Jesus, I'll fucking go with you. Valerie tosses me a so-called smile, the sort that could turn the sun into ice. Good girl. Now come. The council is waiting. You had the V part right, yeah. I'll always pull it out at the, like, way too late and at the wrong, inappropriate moment. What? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Judgment at the Elysium. Now I'm being right, we did this already. Okay. I'm desperately trying to, you know, what's funny is because there was so many demos. There was the Book of Hungry Names demo and the Werewolf Purgatory demo, and this demo all came out like in real quick succession, and I'm sort of having trouble remembering where this demo ended. I'm having trouble remembering. So this is their, right, I do remember this. So this is their joint, the Art Hole. Seriously, could they have picked a more pretentious spot? The Ivory Tower splinter has wedged itself right in the middle of New York City's swankiest row. Welcome to the still heart of the Camarilla's intricate machinations. Here's where the local kindred clink their glasses, all the while plotting each other's demise. Unless, of course, you're a pariah like me, an outcast from a wrong clan with a knack for stirring up trouble. In which case, you're screwed from the get-go. Honestly, I prefer not knowing how posh it is. Places like this don't exactly roll out the red carpet for someone who deals with my kind of stuff, but since I've got no immediate escape plans, might as well play along. I'd happily shit on it on principle, but gotta admit, it seems pretty low-key on the outside, not counting the two chuckling goons who clearly missed the memo on blending in with the crowd. Chuckling Goons is the name of my next band. Ugh. It ended around us being in the Caitiff Guy's Haven. Ooh, really? Jerry, I don't remember that at all. Sounds amazing, though. Can't wait. Sorry, I'm the worst. And on that note, is there a giggle-worthy revelation you'd care to share with me, Bertie? Your demeanor hints at a job well done, does it not? The awkward freeze frame those two are stuck in would be comedy gold if it wasn't knee-deep in my own mess. Oh yeah, right. I remember him from Coteries. Yes. Yeah, Miss Duval. Sir, I mean, not really anything too wild, you know? Just like the usual stuff we're seeing, I guess. Does this usual stuff include dubious characters within a mile's reach of Elysium? Groups for which you were specifically instructed to watch out? 3 of them, to be exact, if my count holds true. 3 groups of what? Honestly, I didn't spot a thing. Then again, maybe I'm just not clued in on what to look out for. Letter Cook! Who wrote this? Who's the Gen Z? Who's the Gen Zer on the Draw Distance team who wrote Letter Cook? That's hilarious. Gotta pick it. I mean, I apologize. We really should have. Yes, you really should have. Boy, that shot through him like an icy bullet. I wasn't exactly cozy myself, but that poor sod probably just shed the last ounce of warmth left in him. Return to your duties at once. I'll be expecting a detailed report within the next hour. Yes, Miss Duval. Sir. Sir. He waddles off like a scolded kid, and his pal refuses to meet our eyes. I throw Valerie a look of unwilling respect. She obviously holds some serious clout in these parts. Come now, dragging your feet earns you no favors, and believe me, you could use a few. Is that an offer, Miss Duval? Her smile serves as enough of a silent veto to make it clear that prying further is futile. Not exactly a good sign. She swings the door open, but there's no warm invitation in the gesture. Yeah, here we go. The place doesn't quite live up to the posh art gallery image in my mind. Sure, there's a hint of what could be Basquiat on the walls. Here's how much Huddy knows about art. 0. How can I make a 0 with my hands? Big, fat, nothing. But most of the art is either shoved aside or covered up. My instincts shift into overdrive. First up, a quick room survey. Search for escape routes. Yeah. No vents, no fancy chandeliers daring me to escape, and definitely no clear exits, especially not through those reinforced windows. Trying to pull off a Chris Angel-style stunt would likely start with a bang and end with my head on the chopping block. Step 2 practically unfolds on its own. The room's a powder keg of kindred in the middle of an intense debate. The tension is palpable, suspicion dialed up to 11. That's when their voices finally break through the walls of my focus. I'm fine. Mind freak! I'm fine. The way you're looking at me. My god, you're always looking at me! Wouldn't have been such an issue if we had taken action when the signs were so glaringly obvious. I'm fine. That long-haired hunk must be Kadir Al-Azmai, the Camarilla sheriff. I've had my fill of stories about him, but now I could put a face to the reputation. Hunter. I'm fine. Look, Vin, there's your favorite one. There's Thomas. If only the rest of us were blessed with your profound gift of foresight, Sheriff, our life would be a walk in the park. Allow me to emphasize, our risks aren't limited to a single front. Acting on a gut feeling might work wonders in motion pictures. Here in the real world, it's a different story. This one's a mystery to me. Oh. But the way he's navigating the conversation is clearly a heavyweight in these parts. Spare me the pretense of ignorance, Arturo. The pattern was unmistakable well over a month ago. I can't even look at him. Now, Arturo, I can't do this. This is so bad. I did this already. Why is he doing this to me? How dare they do this to me again? Arturo? Thomas Arturo? Shit, Reynard's explicitly told me to steer clear of this guy's mess. The bickering rages on, and Valerie doesn't seem eager to reveal her catch, aka yours truly. Your playful decision to allow the Thin Bloods to appoint Larson as their primogen raises his final death to a level that can't be casually swept under the rug, Helene. Or Helena. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce your name properly. I want to say Helena. I think it's Helene, though. Thin-blooded or not, it throws into question our grip on the situation. That gothed out Ally McBeal? Definitely Aisling Sturbridge, the Tremere Regent. I've been curious if Reynard's operation extends into the local chantry, but he was, as always, tight-lipped about his private affairs. Slay. The fuck, that outfit is awesome. It's awesome. Oh, God. Man. What would you have me do, then? Unleash our dear sheriff without adequate reconnaissance, just in the name of haste? We can't overlook his excessive efficacy in the last skirmish, can we? Doesn't the prospect of a masquerade breach give you pause? Behold the queen bee herself, Helene Panhard, the reigning prince of sticks up the ass. I'd be a stick up her ass. What? Oh, and then there's Torque. I remember I didn't have a voice for Torque. I figure, I just gave him like a gravelly voice that killed me. I figure we're all fond of keeping things the way they are, but he just strikes me as a person who smokes a lot of cigarettes. I know D'Angelo smokes cigarettes, like, canonically, but I didn't give him that voice because I go right for the Boston voice with him. Deep voice is what you get, Torque. I'm so sorry. I figure we're all fond of keeping things the way they are, but there's times to just sit back and think, and then there's times when you gotta step up and do something bold. This feels like it's time to make a move. An Anarch championing chaos, a revelation that somehow fails to astonish, O esteemed Baron of the Bronx. An Anarch Baron inside Elysium. Now that's a plot twist. What's the deal here? As I continue to look around, another figure catches my eye, a young-looking woman entirely decked out in black, casually playing with a cigarette. Whoa! I keep double-clicking that. It's because I'm too excited. It's my fault. She shoots me a brief glance, clearly picking up on my curiosity. It's Julia Savinsky, but I skipped over her too fast because I'm dumb. Humph. This guy's easy. That ancient fart in the wheelchair whispering to his servant. Who's that? Right as he's about to chime in, some lanky guy I totally missed till now decides to butt in. That's right. This is the guy, right? This is him. And he's also in the beginning. He's the caitiff, right? My apologies for interrupting, Mr. Payne, but it appears Miss Duval has brought forth the issue you mentioned earlier. It might be wise to ensure she is not exposed to unnecessary information. How did I overlook this guy? He's all limbs and quirks, playing with some odd ring on his finger. He sticks out in this upscale bunch like a sore thumb. Is my mojo on vacation or what? Yes, thank you for that shrewd observation, caitiff. She hurls those words like she's spitting venom. Whatever the opposite of sympathy is, she's brimming with it. Wait, caitiff? Esteemed counsel, I give you the troublesome Ravnos neonate. I gather you all desire a swift resolution to this matter, especially given her reluctance to cooperate. As if on cue, every eye shifts to me. I'm not one to buckle under stage fright, but this silent ostracism is on a whole new level. In this room, I'm on my own. I understand the formal necessity of addressing all. This is as well my role in the matter. However, there are more pressing concerns demanding attention, far more pressing. Shall we discard all traditions, too, while we're at it? We've pirouetted around the Hudson problem for more than a year, yet progress remains as stale as our debate. Certainly a few additional moments to honor the very laws you spearhead so vigorously couldn't hurt, could they? The Hudson is a completely different beast, as you're well aware. We need to address the locust swarm engulfing New York before Camarilla's entire framework crumbles beneath its weight. And how does that sit with you, Payne? Just last night, 2 Duskborn and a fledgling from your clan were reduced to ashes, and we're still in the dark about who's pulling the strings. Shouldn't that worry you more than policing the purity of the red market? Humph. The old guy's servant steps forward, all awkward and rigid. In principle, I agree, Sheriff. However, should we continue to disregard even minor infractions, we broadcast a message of vulnerability. Vulnerability threatens our efforts within and beyond our borders, efforts we plan to carry on without interruption once the locust swarm, as you've termed it, is eradicated. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm inclined to agree with Gramps on this one. We can't simply let something like that slip through the cracks without taking proper measures. So you've all assumed the role of this advocate now. Quite the bold ascent up the ladder of your own making, Julia. What's next on the horizon? Another hostile... Enough! Enough already! An awkward silence falls over the room, but it seems more about customs than actual respect. Guess we're all just creatures of habit, undead or alive. Long limbs and quirks is still a phrase. Vin? Long limbs and quirks is my type. Like, 100%. That's all I put under my type. No, I'm just joking. The sheer theatrics of the situation give me a moment to sneak a glance at... Obviously I'm gonna pick that one. Obviously, what other one am I gonna pick? I want to look at I want to get a really good look at the old guy. The sheriff's avoiding eye contact with me, which you typically read as weakness, but it's far from that. In fact, he's ice cold and focused. His gaze meeting mine might be the last thing I see before bidding farewell to my undead existence. And I'd thank him. And I'd say, please, sir, can I have one more? Sorry. But there's something deeper. He appears... Oh, God, stop. He appears untamed. Like a wolf in an ambush, perfectly still, yet poised to tear into anyone foolish enough to trigger his fury. Me. I volunteer. When the prince finally manages to speak, her voice lacks the confidence you'd anticipate from someone at the helm. We are all here for the same reason you are, Aisling. Or am I mistaken and you forget where your loyalties lie? Even now, as she turns to me, her presence is weighed down. Not that I care. My head's on the chopping block, and she's the one calling the shots on whether it stays put or rolls off. Whoever wrote this is personally targeting you. I know. I feel personally attacked by Draw Distance. And by that, I hope they never stop making Kadir Allah's my products. Now let's put this issue to rest here and now. Strive for brevity, Sheriff. Never. Understood. The weight of his gaze is enough for me to lower my shoulders. Whatever comes, it's not gonna be pretty. Promise. Oh, God. Stop. All right, serious. We're working. Kali of Clan Ravnos, you stand accused of violating the New York Camarilla's praxis, infringing on the tradition of hospitality and endangering the Masquerade, among other things. Well, shit. Wait, on what grounds? Drop the act. There's a wealth of evidence in the recreational vehicle of yours, most of it confirming the suspicions we've been harboring over the recent months. Petty theft from our subjects, impersonation of other kindred, lineage forgery. Need I go on? Okay, guilty. But when did they start caring? It's not like I'm the only one dipping my toes into the ocean of misdemeanors. At least they don't know about our artifact gig. But your involvement in large-scale blood and mortal trafficking outside our scrutiny and the jurisdiction of the circulatory system is as obvious as it is dangerous to the stability of our domain. Large-scale my ass. We hardly move anything through New York. Definitely not enough to impact their operations. Plus, we're super careful. Especially with your clientele often being in direct hostility to our interests, as Primogen Payne was kind enough to confirm. Seriously, this can't be right. We always check out our clients. Well, Reynard does, but is this some kind of twisted way, hiccup, to set an example? Are they playing the undead IRS? What is their game, really? While some might chalk this up to colossal stupidity, I am neither so forgiving nor tolerant of fraudsters who respect nothing but their own gain. I'm not blind to the fact that Reynard's completely MIA in this whole story. He's the big cheese, the head honcho of the entire affair, though calling it an affair might be giving it too much credit. So why are they making it out like I'm the mastermind behind some global crime syndicate? This is not the time to be quiet, Raven. You know what? Fuck 'em. I'm not going down without a fight. Not my RV, obviously. Why... Do I really want to start popping fucking powers in Elysium? I don't think I do. I mean, I know I'm, you know, I got a lot of chutzpah, I got a lot of spunk, but I'm not stupid, am I? Am I? Maybe. Maybe I'm a little dumb. Maybe I am dumb. Boop. What am I doing? This is total crap. I don't even own that RV. I snagged it on a rental from this anarch guy in the Bronx. Oh, you did, huh? What are the odds, right? My nose, I'm so stuffy. See, why won't you grill your barren friend over there? Out of nowhere, something pierces my mind, shredding its defenses to dust. It's like my head's been turned inside out, exposing my every thought for their amusement. I whip my head towards the source of this eerie sensation, and boom, there's Kadir, the freaking sheriff with those piercing eyes slicing through my layers of BS like it's cake. I earnestly hope you're not taking me for a fool. That would be a misstep of monumental proportions, unlike anything these walls have witnessed. I get a glimpse of Aisling out of the corner of my eye, silently mouthing words that look suspiciously like, I beg to differ. You could take Huddy out of the Sierra, but you can't take the Aracy out of you. I played the dumbest werewolf in Book of Hungry Names, and I wouldn't change a thing. Not a thing. And I'll play a little Airhead Ravnos if I feel like it. This is my is my RP, is my World of Darkness. You know, it's unique to everybody. I don't know what's wrong with me. Too much coffee today. Right then, a curved sword appears in Kadir's hand, or though he's just pulled it straight from thin air. Or maybe I'm just going nuts. Honestly, I'd be totally shitting my pants right now if that part of me wasn't offline. I'm not here for your games, little raven. Choose your next words carefully. I'd argue this utter lunacy clears her of charges. She couldn't even cobble together a feeble story, much less orchestrate clandestine trading of this magnitude. And yarn spinning is supposed to be your clan's forte, isn't it? Last chance, my dear. Is there anything of substance you wish to add? Holy shit, this can't really be happening, right? What's my move? What would Reynard do? Reynard, if he had the decency to pop up or at least toss me a fucking heads up, I wouldn't be knee-deep in this disaster. Is he really in trouble, or... what if he bailed on me? Got a hint that the Camarilla was breathing down his neck and decided I'm the perfect scapegoat. Nah, that doesn't sound like him. But why target me and not Reynard? Sure, he's gone now, but could they really be that clueless about him? I'm totally lost, but I do know what he would probably do. His move would be to look out for number one, spill the beans more than necessary to buy some time. Time is gold, and with enough of it, maybe there's a chance to wiggle out of this mess. It's all or nothing now. Hit the jackpot or end up porcupined with stakes. Guess there's not much point in playing dumb, huh? Couldn't agree more. Game on. Alright then. So I indeed am tangled up in this little blood trafficking operation, playing a pretty crucial part if I do say so myself, though I guess not everyone's on board with that assessment. I do the logistics, pushing merchandise through a series of dark web channels. Every eyebrow in the room goes up, except for the cigarette aficionado in the back, who lets out a slight smirk. I mean, a little controlled drama never hurts in a short con. All totally secure and anonymous, no slips... no what? No slips about, you know, our thing... Oh, no slips about our thing. Everything masked by the hustle of more mundane black markets. No way we're blowing the masquerade. Whoopsies. We deal in... keep doing that. We deal in stored blood, as you might have caught on. Not just any blood, though. Our merch is a little jazzed up. Thaumaturgically enhanced, to be exact. It's the only way we'd work, as you're well aware. It's the only way they'd work. I am, but that's not for you to find out. Right, of course. Oh, and we also deal in, let's just call them family treasures, but honestly that's more like a side gig than anything serious. But we're extremely careful about picking our clients and really thorough when it comes to making deals, you know, the traditions and all. I was sure we'd never even come close to breaking them. At least that's what he'd led me to believe. I had a hunch there were some dodgy dealings in his more secret ventures. To deny that would be a flat-out lie. But let's be real, I'm way outside the inner circle to have a real sway in those parts of his enterprise. For a brief moment, an uneasy silence sweeps over the room. His enterprise? Is this a joke? Exactly who is this he you're referring to? I give it my all to appear as blameless as possible. I presumed you knew it was my sire who's masterminding it all. The room's heavy silence is soon filled with hushed whispers following my revelation. Good. If fortune is on my side, I might just live to see another moonrise. Indeed, how fortuitous! And your sire would be... There's only one other notable rogue in the city who comes to mind, someone dipping in and out, known for their shifty nature, of which I was somewhat aware. Reynard Castle. You nailed it, Chief. I mean, sir. Another brief moment of silence gets interrupted by the girl in black who addresses the sheriff. I can practically hear the cogs turning in your head, Kadir. What's your take on it? Truth be told, it does add up, though I had him pegged more as a con artist than a trafficker. Then why hasn't he been apprehended yet, Sheriff? Are you secretly endorsing activities that impede the circulatory system's operations? For your own good, Payne, I'll pretend I didn't catch that. Or would you care to question my dedication to our cause again? Again. Be warned, my patience wears extremely thin these nights. Can we put this bickering on hold, at least for the moment? David, oh, sorry. An opportunity staring me in the face. How could I resist squeezing myself right into it? One more thing. Reynard and I had a meeting lined up with a client a few hours back, but he never showed up. In the whole year and a half I've been in this gig, he's never just vanished like this. What do you make of it? Now, with the floodgates of truth wide open, it's time to dive into the art of lying my ass off. To be honest, I'm not sure, but now that I think of it, he's changed over the past month, become a lot more erratic than usual. Ready for my theory? I'm pretty sure he caught wind of you lot and decided to feed me to the flames while he made a run for it. Whether they're swallowing my story or they're just tired of my presence, it feels like I'm nudging things the way I want them. Not everyone's convinced, though. An unwitting pawn betrayed by her master. A likely story, suitable for the stage indeed, but in this context, if I may. Damn it. Oh, Patrick? Damn it, Patrick, don't go getting yourself into... Baron's warning arrives a bit too late. Instantly, the others shift their focus, fixing their eyes on the caitiff with unmistakable hostility. It's clear they're not exactly fond of him. This is my favorite Camarilla bickering. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Oh, God. Since you're already disrupted the proceedings, you might as well say your piece, mediator. Very well, then. I am inclined to believe her, at least in the aspects most significant to the interests of our allies. Patrick? Thanks, you mysterious weirdo. Oh, God. As ever, your assertion remains devoid of substance. My guy's advice is pretty much always on point. His track record speaks for itself. The sheriff has a point that seems to hold water. Her sire just might be at fault. Nope. Her sire might just be the one at fault. She is essentially a non-entity, is she not? A nobody that slipped under the radar until by a stroke of sheer bad luck, she got caught red-handed. Do excuse the pun. When you give it another look, the evidence you have collected should indeed back up that claim quite convincingly. And what grounds your intricate evaluation precisely? You could say whatever you want, Kadir. I don't care if it makes sense. My judgment is shaped by your vast experience and simply tempered by reasoning and intuition. It changes little regarding the consequences she must face for her complicity in her sire's crimes. It's do or die. How about I serve you Reynard's head on a silver platter in exchange for mine, unscathed on my shoulders? Kadir's stare pins me under silent disapproval, but he lets me, as the curly-haired asshole put it, spin my yarn. I know all his secret spots in this town, plus the spots he wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. I'm wired into his network, his contacts. I've got his playbook down, and I can stay one step ahead of him with ease. Just give me this chance, and we will all be thanking our lucky stars by the end. They slip into a quiet introspection, or maybe... I'm gonna hiccup. Maybe they're just playing a round of mental chess, trying to read each other's minds without uttering a word. I have reservations about this daring proposition. Consider the potential fallout if this entire situation spirals out of control. Kadir throws up his hand, clearly over-dealing with my case. Capturing this whelp proved hardly a challenge. I wouldn't sweat the idea of catching her again. What's more, entrusting her with Castle revolves two issues at once. It swiftly eliminates her presence and enables us to prioritize genuine concerns. But someone has to keep a constant watch over her. Valerie, perhaps one of yours. A batshit crazy idea burst into my mind, the kind of a gamble that could either turn out brilliantly or spectacularly implode. Let the dice roll. Ravnos, baby. How about him? I jabbed my finger toward the quiet caitiff, Patrick, was it? Jackal, is it a jackal? His expression shifts to one of utter confusion as he catches the subtle smirks of the council members. Surely you're not considering... This could play out quite favorably, I must admit. Quite favorable indeed. Holy shit, it actually worked. Very well, Patrick Conroy, I hereby appoint you as the agent caretaker for this Ravnos neonate. I hate to break it to you, Sheriff, but this call is out of your turf. He's with us anarchs, and you know it well enough. Technically, when he took out the whole peacemaker role for our cliques, he acquired the level of neutrality, so yeah. Kadir redirects his gaze to the caitiff. Your responsibility is to ensure she fulfills the assignment within 4 nights, starting now. Any slip-ups on her end will reflect on your record as well. Do we have an understanding? 4 nights. Not a whole lot, but better than nothing. Patrick's resigned nod mirrors exactly how I feel. Now, back to where we were. Their sudden disinterest in me is a clear get-out-of-here signal. Seems like I've managed to slide from one pit to another, but hey, I bought myself a little time, and in my world, that's precious currency. Unless, of course, that caitiff turns out to be a wild card. Pa-pow! Alright. Game saved. Alright, so that's where I'm going to stop, because I only typically do 90 minutes, and so 5, and we had our little interview before. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow to play more. I know we didn't make it to where we end off with the demo, but almost. I do remember now we run into a group of hunters at some one point. So we'll do that in the next part. If you're around, I'll be streaming same time this time tomorrow, and we'll go a little bit longer. And hopefully I won't have to do so many voices all at once. I hope that didn't give anyone a migraine besides myself. But thank you so much for everything. Absolutely love this whole vibe of the coteries of the New York draw distance games. They've got to be top tier, one of my favorites. And I'm super excited to play this. So have an awesome day, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow if I see you. Bye!